Sige, sige.
And we're
Ang
live
dali.
again. Give the time, man. And we're live again for another episode of Inside the Mind of. My name is 𝐭𝐫𝐢�00 𝐓𝐵, and we are at episode number 26. And we're talking about self-effing hypnosis. Okay. Bakit special yung episode na to? Kasi syempre, one of my mentors is our guest for today. Okay? Si Ninong, Dr. Master Strix. What's up, Strix? Welcome.
Hey, man. Wait. Let me
Yun.
take care of this tag.
Sige.
I think we're good. I think we're good. No. Yeah, I think we're good.
Let me double
Can you check?
Yep. Give me one.
Survey says!
Services. So that is live now. Okay na, man. Okay na.
That is so kinky. Okay.
So, yun. What we're gonna discuss for today are mostly topics related to hypnosis, gaining control of personal choice, of course. Kasi most of the time, most of our problems with depression, anxiety, stress are rooted to where? Ourselves. So, hypnosis has been a very, very good tool to actually help our subconscious mind heal. So, yung guest natin ngayon is Dr. Strix Toledo, pero background niya, sa mga hindi pa nakakilala sa kanya, he is actually one of the top people in regards to regenerative medicine, and he focuses on pain relief. Okay? And maliban doon, he's also my mentor in regards to conversational hypnosis. So languaging is hypnotic languaging. And Strix, tell me more. Tell us more about what you do, what you're doing now, man.
Well, you did pretty well, bro. I'm a physician, and my primary focus, by actually sort of kind of by accident, I do other things, but most of my patients still see me for what I'm known for, which is pain relief and recovery and return to function. My main objective is to get people as pain-free, as close to it as possible, because pain actually does serve a very useful function. And my objective isn't to turn it off, but to get it regulated so that it actually does its job and kind of lets us know when we're abusing the system too much. And that's the hope, to alleviate or relieve enough pain and actually just get people back to doing what they love doing. So I hope that kind of makes sense. And that also explains my interest in all things trance and hypnosis, because we're looking at the same thing. When you look at people, you can't be looking at just hardware. You know, we're hardware and software, so we got to look at both sides. And true enough, pain is modulated by the brain. So there's no way, if you're a decent physician, to look at pain and you just can't ignore the brain. That's simply how it is. You've got to look at both sides. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah, it makes 100% sense. And we have our good friends watching right now. Strix, say hi to Rayson and Brian.
Hey, Rayson.
Jay De La Cruz is here. Jasper is here. Yeah, Brian so.
Hi, hey.
Na-miss ka na nila. Strix eh. Ang tagal ka daw nawala, man.
Yeah. In particular, overlap with stuff like that. Rayson, who's my brother, excellent physiotherapist. If you need a fantastic pain management guy, Rayson's the only other guy I can really refer to in, well, hereabouts. Something we have in common is called narrative medicine nowadays. Essentially, we're looking at a way, it looks like there's a necessity to make mainline helping people tell better stories about pain. Isn't it fantastic how that's overlapping with what we look at as hypnotherapists? Narrative medicine. You look at the stories that the people tell themselves, and you'll find that stories reinforce whatever's happening to them, including unnecessary pain. Mm.
Okay. That's ngayon ko lang narinig yung narrative. Solid. And
Narrative medicine.
Yeah.
It sounds like I have a joke, but it's for real, man. It's for reals.
Yeah, Lucas is here. Let's say,
Hey,
sabi nga ni Rayson,
basket
yeah,
up.
narrative medicine. Yeah. So, yeah, si Romel is joining. Marie, Bob, what's up? What's up? If you guys have any questions for Dr. Strix Toledo, yeah, feel free to message here and we'll talk about it. Diba? Rayson? Sige.
I'm very, very happy to have you guys, but please ask questions. You know, our game sadly only gets as good as the game gets. So bring your game.
Okay, game. So again, sabi nga ni Rayson, sometimes art instead of stories. And so, Strix.
Lalim
Oo nga. ito, dumadami na yung mga tao. So we're just chilling while we're waiting for some people to join in our FB live. Nakapost na naman yan sa natin, sa NLP Hypnosis Philippines page and our personal pages also. Yeah, Lucas from Germany is watching. So yeah, we're
brother.
Yeah, we're gonna speak in English, man. No worries, man.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
At least most of the time. So we're cool, bro. Okay. So yeah, our topic for today is self-hypnosis. Strix, tell us. I've known you for how many years, and I sought you out because of hypnosis, the understanding of how hypnosis works. Tell our audience. I mean, what led you to actually studying and actually having a fascination for hypnosis? What led you to that?
I kind of told you a while ago, but I guess details what you're looking for.
Yeah, details, man.
Yeah. Well, funnily enough, when I was younger and more stupid, and I learned 36 different things related to how to supposedly alleviate pain, you do the manly stupid thing and you try to do 36 different things, not understanding that actually kind of your job is just to help the human body do what it can't, and then there's a native intelligence there, and you kind of let the body take care of the rest. And the more you try to interfere with that natural process, the more you mess things up, and really bad things happen. Unless you like retaining patients, which some people like, you know. But Rayson and I, we kind of like getting rid of patients to the extent and degree that we can. Meaning, you're good, get out of here. Thanks for sending me more patients, but be well, and then see us for the holidays or for food or for birthdays. and then I looked in the direction of hypnosis, hypnotherapy, trance, because it very early on looked very clear that you can't take care of one aspect of a human and hope to make profound changes while pretending the other aspect doesn't exist. We're both hardware and software, and true enough, all the signals, all the impulses in our body, they go up here. This kind of processes whatever your notion of where consciousness lies, you know, that processes how much pain is actually felt and tells the body what the body's feeling. So you really do have to look. You really do have to look at the software side of things, and if you could speak to that side, you help the person better. And you may have noticed from your own experience, brother, how like with things like, you know, people know smoking's bad, but you can tell them consciously, and you know, nothing happens. Nothing knowing the facts. Knowing, you know, like you tell a person, when you smoke, it goes into your bloodstream, and then your bloodstream filters it and goes to your kidneys, and your kidneys collect it and it goes into your bladder. And that's why, strangely enough, when you smoke, you're prone to bladder cancer. But, you know, that doesn't do much for people when you're just talking to the conscious side. So I had to really look at the unconscious side as well. So you're talking to both aspects of the software and helping take care of the person as a whole. Making sense so far?
Yeah, of course, because the subconscious mind, the unconscious mind plays a very, very big part. I mean, as I got to understand how hypnosis works, I mean, it's I do believe that I agree with you. It's the fastest way to actually work with the mind. So yeah, until we find some other new technique that would work faster, of course. So yeah, there are a lot of people, new friends joining in. Kit is watching, bro. Kit, hi
Hey,
Kit.
brother Kit.
What's up? Long time no
Wait.
see.
Yeah,
Yeah.
wait. I have because I don't keep a calendar, but I have the notion that Kit's birthday was recent.
Mm.
Shout out, Kit. Belated happy birthday. I'm sorry, I've been off Facebook for a year and I don't have markers or notifications. I'm pretty sure it was Kit's birthday recently. Leah Rivera comes to mind. Leah Rivera Black Wolf of Ren Reyes.
Mm.
Happy birthday. That's what comes to mind right now. I'm bad at this. I don't write anything down. It just sort of comes to me.
Kita niyo yan? Energy flows. Hey guys, what's up? Welcome to the show. So, any questions in regards to self hypnosis, hypnotherapy? Feel free to comment here, and we'd be glad to talk about it. Okay. So, explain nga ni, yun, text mentor Strix, sabi ni Kit, hashtag, Kit, hashtag yan. Kulang ka na hashtag.
You guys, you are brutal. But much love, man. Much love.
Oh, naman, much love. So, yeah, let's talk about self hypnosis tricks. That's our main topic for today. I mean, what's in store for us in regards to self hypnosis?
Oh, you mean for the upcoming workshop?
Yeah, and if you were to define self hypnosis for our audience, that'd be awesome.
Hypnosis for yourself.
No.
No. Done by you for you. Done by you. Done by the people for the people. No. You know when, like, we between you and I and the little thriving community that we now have in the area, we have a bunch of students, and my personal experience worldwide for all the places I've been is that a bunch of students who go into all of these therapies, whatever the therapy is, and I've bounced around the world for quite a few of these. Most people are really just, especially if it's for mental technology, they're first and foremost, primarily really looking to help themselves. You know, they end up enrolling in a lot of stuff without being clear on the fact whether consciously or unconsciously, or sometimes they don't even know it. But mainly what I've noticed is a lot of people, they don't end up in practice because really they showed up at these workshops hoping that someone can sort them out or that they could sort themselves out. And they didn't know the venue for that. So while I'm completely encouraging anybody who has a deep interest in hypnotherapy or other forms of therapy, sure. But I'd also suggest really figure out what you're primarily looking for so that the course you get is a match for what you're looking for. And in reverse, if you got one course and you find you have other needs, pursue those other courses, of course. Me personally now, I think I'd encourage people to take something like Jason's fundamentals or foundations, and then hypnotherapy before even considering something like a course in through hypnotherapy, like the whole shebang.
So medyo ang suggestion mo hypnosis muna so that they have an understanding, and then before they go to hypnotherapy.
As I'm thinking about it, I think that's the way to go. Like to have a deeper understanding personally of what it's like to be in trance and to take yourself into trance. After all, it's lots easier to take people to places you've actually yourself been.
Yeah, I agree, man. No, so solid yun, man. Kasi what I've experienced before I became so engrossed with hypnosis is I became a subject myself. I
Mm.
was doubting how hypnosis is it effective for me? Would I can I be hypnotized? And then after going through a hypnotic session, and then I figured out I could be hypnotized. I was like, oh shit, man, this is real. This is real. I want to do this.
Yeah.
I want to
Yeah.
understand how this works. So yeah, awesome for self hypnosis.
I think that's the I think that's the what it's like for the majority of us who still are in the long game for this. You know, we've had an experience of how useful it is.
Mm-hmm.
We're not just there for teaching for the supposed sake of teaching, but we're still hooked here, no matter the highs and lows, because we've seen its effect for ourselves and for those around us. So I think that's a good way to go. Figure out how to sort ourselves first, and figure out how to sort others, or to help them sort themselves out.
Mm. Yeah, because if we were to so it's an name. I'm trying to figure things out here.
Yeah. What?
How different? That this is the question.
This incoming. Sure.
Not before the workshop. Before we talk about the workshop, how different is self hypnosis from actually a hypnotherapist doing hypnotherapy on you?
Okay. Me personally, my personal experience and in being around is a whole bunch of us hypnotherapists can't even hypnotize ourselves. I think it's, I personally think it's been my experience that I think that's quite horrible. We came in primarily to help ourselves, but we can't hypnotize ourselves. So I think that's something really to explore. The main differences, me personally, I think it's a lot easier to give up so much conscious control and let somebody else who knows what they're doing be in charge. So that's regular hypnosis. Okay.
Yeah.
Whether you take the two-way street or the authority route, it's kind of nice to have somebody who knows what they're doing run you through the journey, so you're not thinking, you're not overthinking things, you know. And then they know what could possibly go wrong. They know when to put in nice suggestions. They can multi-level, multi-layer suggestions. They can pretend to not be saying anything but talk in stories, and then you're changed. I think that's wonderful. It's kind of hard to do all of that to yourself. You know, it's kind of hard to talk stories to yourself because you kind of know what you're doing. And so a lot of the self-hypnosis that's out there is, well, you getting into a relaxed state and then suggesting something to yourself when you're in the deep trance state that you prepared for yourself beforehand. So you have an intent, you prepare your sort of script, or you prepare your intent or something nice to say to yourself. You get deeply relaxed as you can while remaining fairly sort of conscious. So you have both conscious and unconscious online. And then you say something nice to yourself, and then you give yourself a post-hypnotic suggestion, like because you're making these changes in your life is going to improve in ways you could not have before imagined. Something like that. And then you call yourself out of that little trance. That's the usual self-hypnosis that I see. And I think that's the notion of most people regarding self-hypnosis. I also wanted to explore the other self-hypnosis things that people do, because there's a bunch of them. They're just not labeled self-hypnosis. So that's the aspect. Those are the kinds of self-hypnosis I would also love to explore.
Yeah, Strix. Because in regards to that, relaxation, how similar is self-hypnosis to actually meditation or affirmations? How similar is it?
Technically, you could call self-hypnosis like a very well prepared box to deliver affirmations in. Like if you have a nice set of prepared affirmations, you take yourself into a beautiful trance, and then you have a tape or yourself repeat your affirmations to yourself, or you flashcard them to yourself. And I think that's a lovely way of getting
So there are lots of ways to actually work with it,
getting
right?
getting them in. So yeah, but I think that's part of the whole like the old repeat stuff to yourself, positivism, affirmations. I think they're a part of that attempt, that branch of what we do to program the self. Yeah, to program the self. So, and then what else were you trying to contrast it with? So affirmations. What else?
Affirmations, meditation.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's take meditation.
Yeah.
This is gonna be horrible though, because honestly, for me, a lot of the stuff that people are calling meditation, they're guided visualizations, and
Yeah.
guided visualizations are not a bad thing. They're wonderful, and if you could do them for yourself, they're a great form of self-hypnosis. Okay. Also for therapy, guided mental imagery, dynamic mental imagery, it's a beautiful way for introducing metaphors and for introducing healing in that treatment modality. But for me, meditation is kind of just being present. So for me, if you could sit in a room with your girl and talk only about what's in the room and nothing else, you can call it, it's a Japanese tea ceremony where you just become extremely present, and you're not allowed to talk about anything that's not in the room. You can't talk about the shitty past. You can't talk about the future that hasn't happened. You can only talk about the moment. That's meditation for me. When you're just in the moment, that's meditation. So if you can be completely present in front of someone, that's meditation. So recently, when I had a 2-day intensive for a coaching client, that was extremely meditative for me because I had to shut up completely to completely hear what he was saying. Otherwise, I'm of no use to him, really. Does that kind of make sense? But for somebody to hear you fully, that can only really happens when your coach gets extremely meditative, completely in the moment, can't hear anything else but you. I think that's beautiful. So me, sometimes I just look for conversations. You've had that experience.
Meditation is trance then.
Just want to unload with friends, even though you don't want to unload. Yeah,
It is.
the meditative state is presence. It's presence. It's being in the moment. So in a way, you could say that what I do is an extroverted trance. It's an externalized trance. When I'm in the other person and in the environment and not in myself. Ano kaya sinisilip ni Ken? Alamin natin. May sinisilip siya sa isang corner.
Na-block daw yung account ni Fem. Na-block daw yung account ni Fem kaka-share nung live.
Ah, man, don't do
Yeah.
that.
Oh well. That happens. So, pero going back, Strix. So in regards to self-hypnosis, I have a question. Does it work easily if I record my voice, or I plan the flow of the self-hypnosis and record it over my phone, and then
That can work.
that could work?
That can work. I have two preclusions, however. The
Yeah.
gateways in are 1, repetition, and 2, agreement. Now, if you're saying a bunch of things to yourself and you only say it once and you resist that, guess what dominates? Your disbelief, of course. Second, if you don't agree with the shit you're saying, it doesn't work. Okay? So you either dominate it with volume or you dominate it with belief and proof. So you have something that has a larger positive reward than the stuff you've been doing habitually, then you can program towards that. Okay. But if you're trying to convince yourself to take another path, by example, with your habits, but your new rituals to replace your old habits don't provide as much reward as the thing you used to do. By example, if you wanted to do podcasts, but you've set it up so that podcasts are not rewarding, not socially stimulating, and you've set it up so that Dota is so much more stimulating, guess what we end up doing? Yeah, Dota or Mobile Legends or,
Good thing
other
wala
stuff.
akong Dota.
Because,
Grabe yun. Tama ka dyan. Yeah.
Yeah. Buti na lang. Old school
Nasira
na
yung laptop eh. Hindi, nasira yung laptop. So, wala, okay. The universe conspired. Oo. Diba?
Yeah, but I'm also clarifying that those other methods aren't the main focus of what we're doing in the incoming workshop. Yeah.
Okay.
To clarify the difference. Oh, you were asking initially if kind of does self-hypnosis really work? Some version of that.
Some version of that. I'm asking specifically in regards to my version of self-hypnosis in my head is actually
please.
I'll create something because for me as an auditory I'm a dominant auditory. It kind of gets hard for me to actually visualize. So when I could visualize something, it doesn't stay for long. Okay,
I hear you. Yeah.
I could follow. I tried doing recording so that I could retain some cognition, memories, and everything. But
of course,
as I was following my voice, I was laughing to it because I don't know. I was laughing to my voice. So yeah, that's
ang
why
hirap, no?
Ang hirap. Kasi I wanted to have more time to actually visualize on some stuff that I was saying, but since I didn't give space in the recording, I couldn't go deep with the visualization that I wanted to do while I was in the hypnosis state. I was in a trance state. I couldn't go deep because when I was visualizing to go deeper, the next segment would play. So that was a problem for me. Yeah,
right.
That was a problem for me.
That sounds about right, and that's exactly the set of dilemmas we face when we ourselves as hypnotists are trying ever so desperately to hypnotize ourselves.
Yeah. The deepeners, the breathing.
Other
Yeah.
people, we can't help ourselves. Oh God, that's horrible. So yeah. You've been around me for quite some while. It's really hard not to laugh when they're so desperately struggling to get it right, and we know exactly what they're doing. And so when we're doing it to ourselves, it's hard.
Even if I'm going to therapy with other hypnotherapists or hypnotists, it kind of gets really, because as I was watching some of my idols in regards to hypnosis, like Anthony Galli, there was this question that was asked to him, like, can a hypnotist be hypnotized? He said it's still possible, but it gets really tedious, or it gets sometimes it's really hard to hypnotize a hypnotist because the hypnotist has the process already in his head. So yeah, that sometimes that becomes a hindrance for me to go to hypnosis, to a deep state of trance. That's why I love going to like some sessions like guided meditation or something like a group hypnotherapy, because I could allow myself to actually just let go and just relax.
Yeah, it's nice, isn't it?
It's very nice, yeah. But as we're going to our discussion right now, before we go deeper, let's acknowledge some of our friends watching right now. Guys, please.
And sponsors.
Yeah, wala ba? Let's Zoom. Yan, si Zoom nakasulat sa baba. Hi Zoom. promote natin si Zoom. Guys, comment kayo. I'm here so that we can acknowledge we have na 18, 19, 20 people here listening to our to our talks in regards to self-hypnosis. So isa-isayin ko lang.
Just the people who love us enough to be here live despite the traffic.
Ang ganda ng background ni Strix, di ba? I mean, may mga ilaw sa likod. Sobrang nice, man. So, yeah. Sino nandito? Yeah, si Chris Mon, si Miggy nandito, si Joy nandyan. Hi, si Wilson. Yeah, Wilson's there. Woody, see you, Will, sa Saturday. Yeah. Sa self-hypnosis.
Oh, yeah. That's freaking awesome.
Yeah.
Wow.
Si John Alex Oliver nandyan. Eileen has joined. Randy Tan. What's up, brother? Magpa-podcast mo tayo. Si Karen.
Yeah, dude. May utang din ako sa'yo, Randy. Sorry.
Si Randy, di ba? Si Al nandyan. Sino pa nandyan? Si Benjamin, Sendelin, Tito Israel, si Romel has joined. Yun, sabi nga ni Romel, waiting for some juicy, sacred Toledo texts.
Romel?
Bible.
Romel? Romel? Saturday daw, sabi ni Ken.
Pupunta ka ba sa Sabado? Magsabi ka na. Andy, what's up? So, yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to comment here para pag-usapan natin, parang kung may tanong kayo regarding hypnosis, hypnotherapy, and self-hypnosis. Doon tayo mag-focus ngayon. Creating habits, pag-usapan din natin yan kasi it's also part of our topics for today. My mom's watching, si Kit nga, si Marlon, sino pa nandito? Si Bill,
hi,
si Grizz. Yeah, si
Fem.
Si King, ayan, si Fem na-block na ng Facebook, kaka-share nung live natin. And Lucas, of course, Lucas from Germany.
Wait. Yung account niya mismo, sinat down ng Facebook?
Hindi naman, temporary ban for sharing too much.
Okay.
That happens to our accounts when we do marketing, man. So yan, sabi ni Wilson, we came out of the same big stone. And Carla Cortez, hi, Carla, welcome. Okay, so let's move on. Strix, do you have anything to say to our friends before we move on with our topics? Parang gago. Ano yun? Silence? Wow. So, yun. Strix, alam mo ba, pag sign language yung ginagawa mo, hindi lumalabas yung video mo sa camera kasi nakafocus yung...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Guys, we really appreciate your time. You can make the most out of this by actually ask questions.
Alam niyo naman sa mga friends natin na nakaka-attend na ng workshop ni Strix, alam niyo naman na he goes with the flow. Okay. So sige.
Wow. That is an ass move, man.
Why? He goes with the flow.
Guys, yeah. But it's really important to note that the reason I can flow is because I've studied my shit. And I actually have a general outline in mind. And the reason I can flow is because I already know my stuff. And I can go back to an outline if needed. And in fact, I have a whole conversational hypnotherapy, full structure outline that's available as a video, semi sort of public. If you're a friend, you can find it. It's invisible to the public. I'm sorry. But if you're a friend, you can actually find the whole outline there. If anybody effing challenges me on my ability to come from both structure and flow. Anyway, hi.
Malalim yun, Strix.
No. If you look at the structure of it, if you look at the science, all of the stuff I've ever done is to clear my head so I could come from flow. Because it's nice.
Yeah.
So we do whatever it takes. We do our mind dump. We do our other exercises. We do the done flow so that there's nothing on our heads. But it doesn't mean that we didn't study our stuff. It just means we've studied our stuff so well we can actually answer questions. The reverse is some new guy on stage who doesn't want to be interrupted because they only know their script. That's a difference.
I've seen some,
This
a lot.
Yeah, no. This happens for like the telecom guys, okay? Hi, Mr. Blah, 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 etc. And then you interrupt them, and then they'll start from, hi, Mr. Blah, even if they're already several steps down, because they only know their script.
Yeah.
So I
yeah. Yun sa Strix, I mean, that's what I learned really well from you. Flow. I mean, it's just like this. Actually, ano ba nakasulat dito sa papel na to? Wala na.
Ayan, kaya tayo napapahamak eh. Oh, yan.
Wala naman. I mean, you know, it's really fun. For me, it's really fun to just go dive in deep and just enjoy the process. I mean, there will always be some hiccups along the way, but that's part of the process. So if I'm just going along with the process, I mean, it's fun for me. It could be fun for others too. Yun na. Yeah.
No, I get you.
So yeah,
I get you. Me, I just
Mel.
try to finish our Me, I just try to finish our deliverables, and then the rest is flow. You know, here's a basic structure and outline. Okay, let's finish that in 20% of the time, and then the rest, great. Bring the A game. Let's play.
Sige.
Because that's a big thing. The reading stuff, you can read, you know, with enough time, effort, and money, you can figure out anything or buy anything from the internet. But getting something passively is different from getting an experience of it. So, you know, that's where we're most useful. That live interaction, that flow. That's precisely where we're most useful. The rest, let's give them a manual. In fact, you know, you want something structured, here's a manual. Wrap it back to you.
Yeah, that's always a question in regards to, okay, we're slightly derailing a bit of a topic going to workshops, okay? Short lang. There's always these questions in regards to our workshop Strix. May manual ba kayo?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the question. Do you have manuals?
Yes.
Ako kasi I don't eh. I don't believe in that.
I have a basic structure.
Yeah, we both have. I mean, syempre, ako nandun din ako, na-align din ako dun sa the way you teach and do workshops. Kasi sa akin naman, I'm more focused on actually having the students, the people who want to learn, have the openness or the responsibility to actually ask questions specifically.
Yeah. Totoo naman the other side. The other side of it kasi is true. Yung culture natin maraming mahiyain. So and then some people really do like structure. So for that part,
meron naman.
I get why it's
structure eh. Naka-flow naman yan.
I get why it's useful. Yeah.
May
so
PowerPoint
I think it's useful to have. Yeah, exactly. So even your apparent lack of structure, you have a basic outline. Yeah, you have a basic outline.
Meron naman.
No. Your structure enables your flow. Your form enables your function. That's how it goes. A brilliant guy called Adam Meekins had a post earlier that essentially said, only think about thinking outside of the box if you already know what's inside the box. Because, you know, in our community, a lot of people are trying to be outside of the box, but they don't know the box yet. Sabi sa akin, you know. I don't know which community.
What
and
box
I overlap
is it?
With 6 communities.
Well, what define the box?
No. Yun mismo yung sinasabi ko. If you know your stuff, you can invent stuff. Yeah.
Well,
if you look at the difference between Freud and Milton Erickson, Freud had one patient.
Super layo. Yeah.
Okay. Milton Erickson had minimum of documented 400 different therapies. Let me say it this another way. Every single patient, he had a different therapy. He could just make it up. He just make it up.
Yeah.
He'd just make a specific thing up. Okay. He'd make up things like that feeling that you have, see it in that chair. Then he'd burn the chair. You know, he'd make very, very specific therapies that dealt with exactly what was needed because he had the requisite understanding that enabled structure to flow automatically and then adaptation to flow even better.
Is
He understood.
coming from that yung sinabi mo kanina, nabulol ako sa English tuloy. Grabe, na nosebleed ako.
Lang, kit ka pa rin, pare.
Syempre naman, di ba? So, coming from what you said, is there a form of therapy na pwede mong ulit-ulitin?
Huh?
Parang meron bang isang therapy, kasi sabi mo, like what you said earlier, Milton Erickson always did different therapies for each and every client that he had. So what I'm asking right now is, okay, with that, is there a specific flow that would always work for everyone?
Okay, let's take something that's true for everyone, okay? Everyone has habits. Their habits are a reflection of what their unconscious mind is doing for them, automating stuff for them. Every habit has three aspects: a trigger, a routine, and a reward. Everyone can create new rituals that will hijack the trigger, that will change the routine and give a higher reward, and it will replace the old habit. And if you look at that as a structure that's true for everyone, guess what? We have a mechanism that can be piggybacked onto all forms of mental therapy that will kind of work for everyone. Does that kind of make sense? Yeah. And the flip side to that is go higher up the chain if you want something that works for everyone. So at the bottom of the chain, there's actions. The only reasons why people are stuck, there's not enough insight or there's not enough action. So you either get off your bum and get something done, or wait until you get a flash of insight that will tell you precisely what you missed and then act on that. Okay. In the middle, there's insight, there's beliefs, skills, and then there's action. Okay. So sometimes if things don't work at the level of action, you have to look at the level of skills, meaning they can't do it because they don't have the skill. Sometimes they don't believe they can, or they don't believe you, or they don't believe the tool, and so it doesn't work. So just saying that if it doesn't work down here, keep going up until it works. Actions don't work, fix the skills so that the actions work. Skills don't work, maybe they have the skills already, but they don't believe they can. So like you guys are delving into e-commerce right now, okay? Even if a lot of your classmates had the skills, but they don't believe they're e-commerce people, they can't do the skills, even if they have the skills. So there's that level of belief. And then to leverage beliefs, we have to gain understanding. So if I'm looking for something that will help for everyone, I kind of just keep looking up the chain. And whenever I can, I look for understanding or insight, which is fresh, new thought that changes everything, that changes the game. So I'm hoping whenever I can to point in the direction of that the person gets something that they didn't get before. And I think that's universal for us, for humanity. When we get something, it changes the game. And then on a mechanistic level, if you want to look at structure that will probably help for most therapies, find some way to intervene at the level of a trigger. And then, or some people call it a cue. Something happens, you get pissed off. Something happens, you get a donut. So you hijack the trigger, then you change the routine, then you fit in a better reward. And I think that's a structure that will help for basically everything, because that's the structure for all habits. Does that kind of make sense? So I'm kind of looking at like general broad understandings. If you understand how things work, you can make a therapy out of virtually everything. Just understand like the core thing. So if it's, I think there's a whole bunch of life coaching stuff. If any of their stuff actually works, it will still be based on either delivering insight or changing beliefs or improving skills or just forcing people to take action, or it will be based on creating new rituals that replace bad habits. I'm pretty convinced. And now there's other stuff, but I think those are two basic mechanisms that can be true for pretty much everybody. And I hope that kind of makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Nandiyan pala si Luigi. Yes, there can be something universally used like what Dr. Toledo is saying. Great content, guys. Ralph is watching too. And hi
Uy!
now, Strix. Long time no see.
Uy. Yeah, delinquente ako. Isang taon ako wala sa Facebook, Raf.
Oh. Nawala si
Ralphie.
Gian Urbano is here. What's up?
Uy,
Riza, RC Francisco, Andrew Silvestre. Yeah, si Romel, sabi nga ni Romel kanina, so yeah, how to get more absorbed during a process ng self-hypnosis. Kasi may times natatawa ako sa process, pero may times na okay naman and lumalalim din. Yeah, that's what I was saying kanina, Romel. I did the recording of myself, talking to myself. There are times that I had to laugh about it because some sort of some words that I noticed or something. So, Strix, could you do you have answers for this?
For
Specific
the
for
thing is, I
Romel.
don't know what his process is.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's
Romel,
his
comment
process?
your process, man.
Yeah. And then he wants to know how to what? How to...
Wait, let me scroll up again. Yeah, ulitin ko yung question So yeah, how to get more absorbed during the process ng self-hypnosis?
Okay. See if this makes any sense. Okay. Napag-usapan namin to ni Ken kanina eh. So the basic structure to what I do so that I can become more present or absorbed in what I'm doing is to make sure that nothing is on my mind. So whatever it takes to get everything off my mind, I do that. So even if I'm in front of a client and then people will say you're not supposed to break rapport with the client, so you're not supposed to leave suddenly. Sometimes in the middle of the teleconference, I'll say, dude, I gotta go for a while. Then I'll go hit the CR. Because otherwise, they can see the subcommunication of my face say something's wrong. and they'll think something's wrong with them or something's wrong with me or something's wrong with what's happening. So, but it's just me doing whatever it takes to clear my head. So if I need to pee, I'll pee. If there's stuff I needed to take care of, I'll take care of those things until there's completely nothing else on my mind, and then I can be completely absorbed in what I'm doing. Second, Ken understands this part very, very well. Dude, if what you're doing isn't interesting to you, it's really hard to get absorbed in it.
Yeah, of course.
So if you'd like a two-step process, one, make sure you do everything to clear your head. Two, please find something you actually like or will enjoy. Otherwise, there's no game.
Walang reward eh. Hindi it's not it becomes not rewarding. So for example, you're gonna do your own version of self hypnosis, and at when you're starting, you're just doing it for the fun, for the heck of it, not for actually feeling good about it. Then you get something different, right? Yan.
Okay,
So,
I'll give you. I'll give you also. I'm sorry, did I interrupt you? Was there something else you wanted to say there?
No, if you have something else you want to say to Ramel, yeah, because Lucas has a question also. So if you have something to...
Still related to this, that might help Romel, and I'll try to fit it into what you were saying also, Ken. If you think about it, okay, you're trying to do something. If it's too complex, it's a range. If it's too complex, you'll get anxious. Okay? If it's too simple, you'll get apathetic or uninterested, and that's a range. And the formula for flow is you get midline and push slightly so that challenge meets or is slightly greater than your skill. Otherwise, you're not absorbed. Otherwise, you're not in flow. So I hope that makes sense to Ramel. It's either because what you're doing is beneath you, or what you're doing is too much greater than your skill level, and so you lose interest. Ken knows this well because that's the formula for gaming. If the challenge is slightly higher than your skill, that's a good game.
Yeah,
So look
kahit
for that
talo.
formula.
Kahit talo.
Yeah, look for that formula. So you're looking for the golden mean between like sheer apathy and then anxiety. If it's too hard, you get anxious. If it's too simple, you get bored the hell. Or
Tama.
apathetic or uncaring. So you look for the gitna and then you push a little bit so the challenge is slightly higher than skill. Guess what? You're involved, you're engaged, you're in flow.
So yun. Hope that
And yes,
answers your
Lucas.
hope that how Lucas, I'll ask your first question first before I ask your second question, okay? So his Lucas' first question was, what do you think is more effective? Staying awake while doing a
Ah,
guided session or sleeping while listening? Man, this is a effing good question, bro. Because I think the last time I went into a guided meditation, I dozed off, man. I mean, I was like so relaxed and I was like, boom. And when I was like at Limitless, I mean, we were all there. I was like, boom. Also, I was I was asleep. I was so relaxed that I slept. So, Strix, again, let me repeat the question for you. What do you think is more effective, staying awake while doing a guided session or sleeping while listening?
hmm. For programming, that's kind of what Lucas means? Yeah,
I
for programming
think
yourself.
so. I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to hear your opinion on this.
Um.
I'll tell you mine. I'll tell you mine, but I want to hear yours.
For me, looking at the context here, I'd go with. Let me just double check that. I'd go
Yes,
with
brother.
staying awake, being on trance, than being asleep. I mean, being asleep that makes me more go a little bit deeper, right? Into probably what Strix calls gamma. Am I right? I'm not sure about it. I'm just dilly-dallying. But if I were to give my answer, I'd prefer to be on that state of I'm conscious but unconscious at the same time, which is my favorite state of trance. Instead of me sleeping, because for me, when I'm asleep, most of the time I don't remember, or I'm not really conscious, or sometimes I don't know. I don't know. So every time I go to a hypnosis session and where I just enjoy the feeling of going into trance, most of the time I get to sleep. And when I get to sleep, I don't remember anything what's said, but I feel relaxed. So so if probably if I were to give you an answer in regards to change, I'd rather be conscious about it. Yeah, that's for me. So on your mind, Dr. Strix?
I like the game most when both are online. So there's that conscious mind, and then I'm talking to the unconscious mind at the same time. I like that. So I get both the parental agreement,
Mm-hmm.
the conscious yes, and then I get the unconscious mind to agree with me. I like that best. That tends to work the best in my experience, where you not only spoke with the unconscious mind, but the conscious mind, the parental mind, the person was clear on that you were doing something
Mm-hmm.
and was clear that the communication was going both ways. Like something was said to the conscious mind and something was said to the unconscious mind. So, me personally, if it's possible to work with both online, that's my preferred way to work. Um, if his question was what
Yeah, programming. Yeah, programming.
works better, yeah, if it's if as long as you have the, it doesn't matter what you say to a person consciously, you got to get the unconscious mind to, okay, get permission so that you can talk to the unconscious mind and then talk to the unconscious mind. That's the part of that helps. It also doesn't work as well if you just, it'll work, but there are repercussions if you just talk to the unconscious mind. So if you got a person to agree to have a session and then you could speak with the unconscious mind, that's the part that works. So if it's just conscious listening, that kind of doesn't work. We know this from telling people about bad habits, including smoking. Everything you say that's conscious, so what? They don't change. It doesn't change people. Facts don't change people. Stories do, unfortunately.
Oh,
Um,
okay, Romel, that's a
I
quotable
said
quote,
I
man.
said before, I said yeah, I said before, and this is the experience of Rayson and myself. Stories are stronger than studies, unfortunately, in the field in which we revolve. Stories are stronger than studies. It's unfortunate, yeah, but you
Man,
know
but it's true.
that,
It's true. And that
that's the
it
way in.
becomes a fact now. Diba?
That's the way in.
Yeah. So, Romel, yeah. So, just to repeat again, what Strix said earlier, kasi sabi ni Romel, nawalan daw siya ng connection. So, yeah, Lucas actually gave the answer already in the comment. Sabi niya, clear your head and remove distractions. Number 2, look for something you love and enjoy. That's it. Yep.
That's a pretty good summary.
Yeah, thanks, Lucas, for summarizing that.
Yeah,
Yep, programming. Yeah, hope that answers your question, Lucas. And if you have any other questions left, please comment here. And we're going to our next probably topics right now. So, Strix, in regards, the last topic that we talked about was Lucas's question in regards to asleep or not asleep. That's why I love working with conversational hypnosis, because with conversational hypnosis, I'm actually wide awake. I don't have to be on a state of like, deep trance to actually work. Um, of course, with my clients, I don't have to put them on deep trance. That's why NLP is also something good. So, my question is, how if you were to differentiate conversational hypnosis with the part of NLP that does therapy, how which would you prefer?
say conversational hypnosis versus the part of NLP that does therapy. What?
Well,
Sorry.
kasi there, as I see it right now, there are lots of NLP teachers, trainers here already in the Philippines and other parts of Asia, and there
Fun
are
game.
different styles that are being taught. I mean, they're teaching, of course, the fundamentals of NLP, but as you could see the difference in delivery from the trainer itself. So for some, they focus on therapy. For some, they focus on actually the skill of it and where they apply it more on sales, the languaging part of NLP. So that's why I was specific. And some NLP practitioners, they're more focused on the coaching side of it, not mostly on the therapy side, but more on the motivation side. So for some people that I've talked to recently, they defined NLP as something that could work with motivation, and I was like, what? so, so it could. So
Okay.
that's why I was specific with the NLP for therapy. Yeah.
Which works better, conversational hypnosis or NLP for therapy?
Yeah.
Was that your
Yeah.
question?
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
Okay. If you look at the okay. If you look at the entirety of NLP, there's an aspect for NLP that's conversational.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, if I look at it, it's less adaptive but more directive conversational hypnosis. You could guide them through a process. Yeah, it's kind of like that. So more effective for therapy. I'm still actually struggling with that. Okay, personal preference. I like conversational hypnosis, and any NLP technique I can deliver conversationally. So if it's a several step reframe, I'll be telling a story.
Several
And
step
then
reframe. Lagpas na yun sa 6 step, ah.
no. Here you go. Some people like debating whether it's a 6 or 5 step reframe, and it's just
Actually, di ko
various
alam.
branding.
For me, it's just a branding. The 6 step reframe. It's I could think of it as just a branding, a flow, but actually,
Yeah. So in the
it's
age
a
of
lot of things.
Yeah, so in the age of political gender
Correctness.
discretion, so let's call it a multiple step. Oh wow.
I don't know.
So, but you can anything in hypnosis and or hypnotherapy or in NLP, because NLP was just modeled from the excellences in hypnosis. Anything that you can deliver in NLP, you can deliver conversationally. And I think that's the ideal scenario when you're doing NLP techniques conversationally after you've put the client in trance. Best of both worlds. That's a combo. Yeah, that works really well. And people who are trying to do NLP outside of trance, like why? NLP was modeled from hypnosis. That's how it works. Yeah. So and if you do both, you have the chance to do it correctly because you have the conscious mind agreeing and you're speaking directly with the unconscious mind. Beautiful. Yeah. So to answer your question, there's conversational hypnosis in both. And I'll use conversational hypnosis to deliver either. But my preferred modality, conversational hypnosis. Or do just sitting down and telling stories or having a good chat one person to another.
All right, man. Thanks for that answer. Hope that helps some of our viewers there. And Rayson has a question.
What's your stand? Oh, sige.
My stand. It. I can't weigh it because for my belief is for every time that I do coaching or therapy or when I'm talking to people, I mean, it varies. Sometimes I could use NLP if that works better. So most of the time, it's more of the specific languaging that I've learned from conversational hypnosis. So it depends. It depends on the person that I'm talking to. But most of the time, I'm more aligned with conversational hypnosis. Yeah, because a lot of specific words do really work well together. So yeah, Rayson has a question. Reflective listening or Socratic questioning or motivational interviewing or narrative medicine, etc., etc. NLP stuff, right?
Yeah, what's the question?
Yeah, kung NLP stuff yun, yung reflective listening, Socratic questioning, motivational interviewing, narrative medicine, etc., etc.
Okay. Yeah, let's go founding fathers. NLP, if you go back to its main engine, the main engine of neurolinguistic programming, it was, as Richard Bandler developed it, the main engine was curiosity.
Curiosity, yep. Yeah.
Curiosity. It's what enabled him to model the greats. Virginia Satir, Fritz Perls, Milton Erickson. It's curiosity. And just like the conversation we're having ongoing at the frontiers of pain medicine, it's listening and figuring out what works. Okay. And NLP, if you follow its roots, and the core engine is curiosity, NLP is built, if it would like to eat everything. Like it'll eat every single modality. Oh, that really works. Show me if it really works. And if it really works, NLP, your linguistic programming, will eat it because its main engine is adaptive. So if it were true to its roots, NLP would evolve and mutate to take on every single model of excellence that there is. If it turns out that Michael Phelps is doing something we previously all never recognized, but it could be modeled, then that skill could be passed to other human beings, and it could become like a 3-step churva within your linguistic programming. like we don't.
Ano, 3-step churva? Okay yun ah. Yeah, akala ko may sasabihin ka pa eh, dun sa 3-step churva eh.
No. No. If NLP had its way, it would take from all of these. Because true enough, like example, the Socratic dialoguing, Igor Ledachovsky, who trained the bulk of us in perhaps the most excellent form of conversational hypnosis, that there is, that's both structured and free flowing, he looked at even that, Socratic dialoguing. Sure, yeah. Then if you look at narrative medicine, it seems a hell of a lot like what we do among the very best conversational hypnotists. Yeah, it's conversational hypnosis too. You for example, you take a person from their story of how bad things are and their interpretation of how things were shitty in the past, and so they'll be shitty in the future, and then you take that story and remodel them and prove to them that no, your story doesn't define who you are now and what you're capable of, and that the body's far more adaptive than that, and there's a native intelligence there, and you'll be okay. Yeah, isn't that kind of conversational hypnosis too? But that's narrative medicine.
Well, si Luigi nga kanina, ina-explain niya, parang yung, di ba,
I hope
earlier,
that helps, Harrison.
yeah, yun nga. Di ba kanina, we were discussing about the difference between NLP and conversational hypnosis, and Luigi said, why, parang conversational NLP. Tapos ngayon naman, reply naman ni Luigi is curiously adaptive. Pwede.
Yeah, that's a core engine. So if you find an NLPer who's inflexible, that's not an NLPer.
or syempre practicing pa lang naman, Strix.
No. I'm saying that. I'm saying that for those who purport themselves to be gurus, Yeah.
Yep, yeah, yun. Ang dami, kasi, nothing against, nothing against
absolutely.
other.
So by example, someone people love to hate and some people love to love. Robbins, dude, lots of people hate him. But if you follow the core tenets, one of the tenets of Richard was, here, take this and run with it. and that's kind of what Robbins did. He took it and run with it. Of course, he made his own brand, but he made something of it. So technically, going by the Bandler rules, he made something of it. So that too is NLP, I guess.
There's a lot of innovation.
Even though he branched out.
Yeah, there's a lot of innovation in NLP through the years. You could see a lot of people going with the specifics, what was taught, like of course the presuppositions, the anchors. There are the basic fundamentals of NLP. But as you go deeper with working and actually applying those basics, you get to create. That's the one thing that's really good with NLP, since it's really vast. There's a lot of understanding and techniques to it. You get to combine stuff that aligns with you. So, for example, for me, I could focus on other different techniques like circle of excellence, Godiva. Those are the basic techniques. But as you understand those techniques, you get to see what works, and then you could get what works and then combine it with other patterns or techniques that works, and then you could create your own routine, your own personal technique. And as I said, through the years, a lot of NLP masters have worked with have been experimenting with their own technique, and right now there's a treasure trove of information that you could see online and through other mentors.
And very few innovations, unfortunately. You would think for a field that's supposed to be about curiosity and adaptation, there are very few innovations. It's kind of sad.
Yung mga leaders, yung mga ibang mga specific trainers noon, nag-branch out yung iba nag-meta NLP, ang dami, and there are lots of.
Yeah, I get that. But if you look at the core of what they're doing, it's just rephrasing and rebranding mostly, and very few innovations in between. So I would really actually like to see a bit more diversity and some people coming up with something genuinely new. So by example, before clean languaging, like we had no idea. And then clean languaging, oh, okay, that wasn't in the original code for NLP. And then you test it out and okay, so it's okay, that's a genuinely new innovation for hypnosis until Igor Ledachowski recoded it and found the structure behind it. Nobody could see the basic structure behind what Milton Erickson was doing. But Igor being this structural mind, he sees in dynamic imagery, and very, very, very structured. I think that's his main genius, actually, his ability to take things apart and dissect it and look at the core elements, which is technically modeling and excellence. So that for me is an innovation. When Igor started it out in here, and he called it the non-awareness set. So that's new. Clean languaging of David Grove, that's new. I'd like to see more of that, and not just rebrandings, because that's what NLP is supposed to actually be doing, like copy and adopt models of excellence everywhere, and then rebuild it so that everyone can have it. Yeah, to take excellence and then to install it into people. I think that's lovely. I like to learn everything, figure out the best in everything, then distill it and then install that in people. That to me is the curious adaptive heart of neurolinguistic programming. So I hope that kind of helps. Did that answer your questions?
Yeah, of course.
So I'm actually with you on this.
Oh naman. Kasi very, very passionate tayo sa conversational hypnosis sa NLP, man. Pero, okay, meron tayong onting time pa. Guys, if you have any questions, okay, now is the time to actually comment in your questions. While we're waiting for some questions to flow in, Strix, I have a question. In regards to the topics that you have aligned for Saturday, I'm very curious about what's HUNA?
Okay. If the bad way of saying this is, if neurolinguistic programming had a religion, it would be HUNA. If you look at the structure of what's come to be called HUNA, it's very NLP-ish. Yeah, if you look at the presuppositions of NLP, that kind of like sounds like core tenets for HUNA. In truth, there are several ways to look at Hawaiian HUNA. The popular notion is that it's ancient Hawaiian religion. The kahuna are the shamans of ancient Hawaii. And HUNA was their like spiritual practice, supposedly. But if you actually look at history, there's this guy called Max Freedom Long, foreigner. Long time ago, he looked at and had an interpretation of Hawaiian spirituality, which Hawaiian shamans would actually debate and disagree with, but that's come to be the most common understanding of HUNA. Other shamans have arisen and actually clarified some stuff and disagreed with some stuff, but there are things to HUNA that, long and short, if you look at if you take a spiritual look at what NLP is trying to do, you can call it HUNA, or HUNA is kind of that, the way it's generally out there. Of course, it's kind of blasphemous because technically, HUNA is kind of their traditions, Yeah, these are supposedly Hawaiian traditions hijacked for rebranding purposes, for use in mysticism all over the world, and that started with Max Freedom Long. But some of the tenets for what we've come to know as HUNA, no matter which side you look at, there are some commonalities, and they're useful. They're useful. To those who are familiar with it, look like spirituality, but NLP. So hence my interest in HUNA. If anyone else is inducted in HUNA or is familiar with this, please chime in and let me know. The way I was originally taught HUNA, though, the way I was originally inducted was, Jonathan Clark seemed to follow Max Freedom Long's discourse on Hawaiian spirituality. But you could just think of it as a nice way of getting in touch with our other minds. Is the long and short of it. Thinking of people as having not just one mind, but having one mind with a couple of other aspects. There's a conscious mind, and there's the unconscious mind, and there's the higher conscious mind. So that's the general framework for if you want to look at what HUNA looks at. And I wonder if that helps.
Yeah, kasi sige. Yeah. Then, hello.
Yeah.
Kasi I was browsing the topics that you're going to work with this coming Saturday, and I saw something like HUNA dream interpretation. I mean, what's that? What's that?
Do you have a recurrent dream?
Scary one, yeah. I think so.
Yeah. Can you tell? Was it night or day in your dream?
Neither. I'm not really sure.
Was it bright or dark?
It was bright, then it became dark.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, what was it? Yeah. Okay. So bright and then dark. What was the general mood? How are you feeling?
It was calm first, and then it was all darkness the second. Yeah.
Understood. Were there like symbols or like people or places that you're familiar with? Any symbolism you could say or shapes?
The stairs.
Stairs. Okay.
Yep.
And people? Are there people or
none?
Okay. Hey.
No.
Great. So by example, give me one area of your life that you're working at. That's really important to you right now.
Well, growth. More on for me right now. It's more of marketing. Understanding.
Understanding marketing. Can you see where there are parts in your journey right now where it's light, but it's kind of getting dark, and there are stairs to be dealt with?
Okay. I'm getting an understanding of this. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So there's a process where it's like your unconscious mind has been giving you the solution, but you haven't had the tools to dissect it. Yeah. So minsan, lalo na pag paulit-ulit yung dream, your unconscious mind supposedly has been giving you hints, but we're extremely dense or we don't know how to decode. And there's a mechanism for decoding. So it's quite nice. You can hear messages from your friends.
Besides that, I mean, the interpretation of, for example, you're helping me interpret it. It's conversational. You know how we do therapy, and yeah, I'm listening also to the process on how you're asking the questions to me, and it's nice. Yeah.
But that's only because we're conversational hypnotherapists. Yeah.
It's really nice.
That's the only reason why it's so
if you guys could just rewind the
Ang saya,
process.
diba? Ang saya.
Oh, so pag iniintindi ko yung narinig ko na yung dream eh. For
Nice,
example, yeah. Okay,
So yeah.
pag-usapan natin.
Go.
No. I'm still I'm listening to the questions specifically, and now I get to understand, oh, that's why I could interpret my dream that way now, and it could help me with what I'm
Exactly.
going through right now. Okay, yeah,
Exactly.
that's nice.
Exactly. 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 So, it's like if we were to do like a therapy session,
Mm-hmm.
okay, those with unanswered questions come and we shall answer your unanswered questions. And then essentially we get them to talk to themselves. And actually yeah, go on.
Yeah. What if the person or the client doesn't have a recurring dream?
Okay. You told me your dream, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's a recurring dream
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. But one of the first things my teacher, Jonathan Clark, taught me was if a friend brings you a dream, listen carefully because that message is also for you. So, by example, you told me something, and in my world, your dream means something for me. So, after this conversation, I'm actually going to examine my life and see where there are aspects of what you described in your dream, and it will help resolve something for me. I assure you.
Wow, this is deep, man. I've heard of Huna from you for quite some time, but this is actually the first time I'm actually. It's nice, man. It
It's fun. We
binds
can do a
spirit.
certification.
It also binds spirituality to it. I mean, the universe
Exactly,
or
exactly,
spirituality.
exactly, exactly. And this
It
whole notion
binds
of we are
spirit.
one thing and we're talking to each other. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm.
Juicy. Juicy,
Mm.
sabi ni Luigi, when you're trying to figure out sino na, who na. Wala lang.
Wait lang.
Medyo.
Ay.
Lucas has a question again, man. Thanks, man. You're doing such a great job. I'm curious. Do you have any plans about reaching more people? Your streams could help many more people and deserve definitely more views. Damn. Well, yeah. Well, as
If
of right
Lucas
now,
translates, if Lucas does the subtitling, this could be available in Germany.
in Germany,
If our friends
we're just
start to
having
help
fun.
us, if they really mean what they say.
Well, yeah. For now, man. I mean, I'll be honest, Lucas. We're doing this podcast, this FB lives, to raise awareness. I mean, that's why it's an FB live, not just a specific podcast where there's no interaction with the audience. We want personally, I want it to be very interactive, in where people could directly ask questions to the guests and to future guests. I mean, it's a gateway for them to actually bridge their mind. I mean, everyone has their own experiences, learnings, opinions of about anything, and it's. I do think that this is actually an outlet in where they could actually let out their their thoughts, their opinions, their beliefs. Okay, so it's not just a marketing thing for me. It's also something my passion and my advocacy. To raise awareness and to help people, my friends, and some new people in the business to actually get their voice out there. So that's it. That's for me. So
you know, if
Mhm.
yeah, yeah, if we could all help each other, that'd be
Hmm.
really nice. I'd like that very much.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So yun, who na sabi si Eric, replying to Luigi's joke, who.
Oh my God.
Ewan ko. So, Strix, we're running
For,
out of
for, for those
time.
who aren't familiar, Luigi has dad jokes therapy.
Yeah, it kind of gets awkward sometimes, but yeah, he has a lot of really,
D-
I
dad
can't say
jokes.
really good dad jokes. Some real dad
Sometimes
jokes.
it's
Okay,
funny.
that's
Yeah.
well, sometimes it's not. So so yun. So again, Strix, what can we expect for Saturday?
A lot of the stuff we talked about,
Mhm.
made so that you can actually do it by yourself on your own. And looking more also at the supposedly metaphysical stuff. Because I don't know about you, man, but this looks like really brilliant hypnosis to me. What does it look like to you?
To me,
It's just another, yeah, dude, the structure, absorb attention, bypass
my
conscious
belief is
mind.
religion is still hypnosis. So I mean, it's hypnosis to me.
Dude, dude, you fell in love. That's
Yeah,
self-hypnosis.
that's oh yeah, of course, yeah. That if you watch the episode that I made for Ken Thoughts, yeah, that's self hypnosis too. Yeah,
I haven't seen that. I'm sorry.
yeah.
I'll look for it.
I'll send you the link. It's about love and how you make other people think
Eee.
about you so that they actually when they're thinking about you more, they get the notion that they could. There's a bigger chance. There's a higher chance that a person could fall in love with you when they're thinking about you most of the time. Yeah, yeah. That's episode 2. So I'm talking to Jobs right now, and there's episode 3. The title of this, Jobs, if you're watching, is Negative Self Talk. Yeah, that's the title. Yeah. Ganda, ganda.
Okay,
Nag-shoot kami the other day. Pero yeah, going back.
sure.
Yeah, Saturday.
What can they expect? A bit of the same. And if you look at everybody who's tried self-hypnosis, there's stuff that doesn't work. There's stuff that's really, really difficult to do on your own. So I just look for the longest time for ways around it so that it doesn't bore you to death or it doesn't make you laugh. So you can actually do some hypnosis on yourself. So I'm also weirdly looking at the what looks to be metaphysical stuff, but to me the structure is the same. And if you look at the commonality, it's just ways of speaking with or being spoken to and speaking back to your unconscious mind. So hence I gave you an experience of Huna dream interpretation. That for me is an example of, hey, we can actually have a conversation with our unconscious minds. We thought that it didn't converse with us, but we've just been stupid. So that's kind of like I haven't thought about it that way now. So it's ways of accessing what we thought we couldn't access, of really having a rather direct conversation with our own unconscious mind. So that part of us which automates all our behavior and our habituation. So I hope that kind of makes sense. A whole bunch of supposedly metaphysical stuff will look at the mechanism for that. And you'll recognize these things. And will find some way so that they get a practical experience and can do it for themselves. So my hope is actually for people who have been frustrated by self-hypnosis or haven't been able to do it, this is a good fit. For people who are exploring hypnosis, this is a good fit. It's also possible if you'd like to do all of like the tests for hypnosis on yourself, within self-hypnosis. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
it's
yeah, ako,
it's
I'm
possible to do all these things. So by example, even go on. Yeah,
yeah. Kasi
can't hear you.
ako, I'll be of course joining in, and I want to understand
Oh, great.
how to specifically um do self hypnosis. I have an idea of how to do it, but I'm really curious on how I could improve it and actually work how to make it more efficient and tailor fit it to myself. Yeah, that's one thing that I'm looking forward sa Saturday. And guys, if you have any questions, yeah, before we end this session, Strix, do you have any message to our friends and yeah, audience watching? Yeah, in regards to anything. Yeah.
I had one thing written out because I thought it kind of summarized a bulk of my opinion about hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
I wrote, all hypnosis is self-hypnosis. And so if we're able to actually Sort that
Pinoprocess ko
out.
pa. Wait lang. Pinoprocess ko nga eh.
Yeah, yeah. If
It
you think
is.
about it,
It is.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
It is.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I agree. I agree.
There you go. So, since all hypnosis is self hypnosis anyway, here's a great way to learn hypnosis for yourself and others.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So if you think about like the usual session, what happens is we just give up our control to the hypnotherapist. We make him or her an authority or a parental figure or a supportive figure. Yeah, that's what we do. We just give up control. And but that's still us doing the giving up of control or passing on the control to someone else. So if you think about it, yeah, on
Yan,
several levels.
tinype ko ah. Tinype ko. All hypnosis is self-hypnosis. Sabi ni Ralph, that's deep. That is tender. Okay. Epic. Oh, guys, if you have any, if you decide to join us this coming Saturday, comment lang kayo or message niyo ako so that I could assist you with the early bird. PM nyo lang ako kagad kasi limited seats lang tayo for Saturday. We'll start by 1 p.m. We'll start by 1 p.m. As much as possible, we want to start on time. So 30 minutes earlier, let's do the registration. And then location is at the spot sa Ortigas yan. Katapat lang yan ng Robinson's Galleria. So if you have any questions, kindly message us sa NLP and Hypnosis page or message me directly, Ken Sumera. And Dr. Strix Toledo can easily be reached at
Ken Sumera at fb.com.
Ako pa din. Hindi, you could check out Strix Toledo. He has lots and lots of very, very insightful videos in regards to productivity, hypnosis, languaging, motivation, not motivation. there are lots of videos on YouTube. You can check it out. You could search him up, Strix Toledo, dun sa YouTube. There's also his page here on Facebook. You can search him out also, Strix Toledo. And he does, do you do coaching with some groups?
Absolutely. I do everything from one-on-one intensives to group coaching. And I've done virtual coaching as well. It's quite nice. It's really lovely helping people make transformations for themselves. I enjoy it a lot. Sobra. So if there's stuff that I can do until like old age, yeah, this is one of those things. If you think about it, that's a physician's job anyway. Our first duty was to coach. It's just a whole bunch of us have forgotten. But when I became a coach and I looked at what I was doing, wait a minute, that's what a physician's supposed to be doing. That's actually what I've been doing for a while. So, no big disparity. And yeah, I'm glad I found where they overlap.
Yeah. By the way, Strix, invite pala kita. Kasi I'll be doing like covert sales by probably somewhere around late September. And probably let's do another FB live. Another FB live in regards to actually some covert stuff. And
there's I've got stuff that you haven't seen that you'll really like and that you'll recognize because you've been doing marketing for quite a while now. It's there.
And there's a lot of things that are not yet understood. Yeah, so we could shed light to it.
No. More than that, I think for you, because you're exposed to this stuff and you've been doing it for a while, you'll actually be, that's what that is. You'll just be able to codify it because it's already familiar to you. Like you've seen it. Like
let's have a discussion over another FB live probably soon.
Yeah. Understood.
Sige.
Understood. Sounds good.
Okay, wala na kayong tanong, guys? Wala na?
Yeah.
Okay, wala na. Okay, guys, again, super thank you, Dr. Strix Toledo, for joining us for this session.
Brother.
si Strix ay not just a partner, a bro, he's also my ninong. And in regards dun sa, yan, my wife said, "Hi, Ninong."
Hi, fam.
Teka na, magtanong ka na. Anong tanong mo?
This,
O yun, mukhang yung tanong niya very personal. Baka daw hindi mo na daw siya kitain sa Sabado pag tinanong niya. Mukhang alam ko na yung tatanong niya. Okay.
hi to my, where are you? Okay. Okay.
Right. Ito, may tanong si Romel, kailan yung susunod na self-hypnosis? Bro, alam mo naman, we don't know. I mean, was this run before? Did we run self-hypnosis?
Never. Never before in the history of the
Wala
local
pa.
community has anyone ever run a self-hypnosis
Wala
workshop.
pa, Mel eh. So,
Today, for the very first time ever.
fully booked pa lahat ng schedules up till next year. So, wala pang, not sure if we could do a rerun, anything. Pero if you decide to join, message ka lang sa akin so that I could assist you with the early bird, pare. No worries with that. Okay?
Guys, if there are those who are already hypnotherapists, I actually think this will be worth your time. I think it's useful to do that deep dive for ourselves, and I think it's very healing to be able to actually take care of ourselves the same way we take care of our patients or clients. I think that would be nice. That exploration deep into ourselves, and the answers will get there, and the healing will get from it. So if you're already a therapist, I think this is a good fit as well. And for those of you who are looking for something basic, even if you're a new graduate of psychology, this is basic. Understanding how your operating system runs, this is basic. And we can help. And Ken would be more than happy to help you out with the registration. Cheers.
Oh naman. Cheers. So ayun, guys, again, this is episode 26 of Inside the Mind of. Super duper thanks for joining in, for commenting. Ask questions lang, even though this live has ended already. You can always message or comment your questions here, and we'd be glad to answer those questions even offline or online or whatsoever. Okay? So thanks, Strix. Thanks again. See you on Saturday. And my name is 𝐭𝐫𝐢𝐱 𝐓𝐫𝐫, and these are my thoughts. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Inside the Mind of. Thanks, Strix. Good night, man.
Hey, brother. Good night, brother.
Good night.